Okay, for all the teachers out there, let's be real for a second. What's the biggest time sink in your job? It's not actually the teaching, is it? Nope. It's that huge, never-ending mountain of papers that follows you home every single night. Well, today, we're going to look at a new AI assistant that claims it can change all of that. So let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question. Seriously, I want you to think about this. What if you could grade an entire class set of essays, like 30 of them, in the time it takes to make and drink a cup of coffee? We're talking just 15 minutes. It sounds kind of impossible, right? All right, before we even touch that 15-minute promise, let's back up a bit and just talk about the problem itself. Let's get real about the grading challenge, something every educator knows way, way too well. And honestly, this quote just hits the nail on the head. For so many teachers, your time just vanishes into this soul-crushing pile of papers. All that incredible work you want to do, it gets pushed into late nights and weekends, all just to give good, thoughtful feedback. And that's time you're not spending on lesson planning or professional development or, just having a life. Grading is, without a doubt, a huge bottleneck. But what if technology could actually break that bottleneck? What if there was another way? And that, right there, brings us to this idea of a 15-minute solution. Okay, so here it is. The tool is called GraderAI, and the most important part is right there in the definition. It's a rubric-based platform. Now, that is absolutely key. Why? Because it means you, the teacher, stay in the driver's seat. You set the standards. You decide what a great essay looks like. The AI works for your rubric, not the other way around. And there's that number again, 15 minutes. That's the big promise, right? The headline claim, the time it takes to power through a whole stack of essays. It's a really bold claim. So, of course, the big question is, how on earth does it actually work? So, yeah, how is that kind of speed even possible? Well, to figure that out, we've got to look inside the toolkit. Let's see what's under the hood. Okay, so the platform is basically built on a few core features. First, you've got custom rubrics, which, again, is the whole point. It keeps you in control. Then there's bulk grading, which is all about pure speed and efficiency. It's got Google Classroom integration to make your workflow super smooth. But honestly, the two features that really jump out to me are the OCR for handwritten essays, we'll get to that in a sec, and the built-in AI detection. Yeah, that OCR thing, that's a total game changer. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition, and what it means is that this tool isn't just for typed-up Google Docs. It can actually read and analyze handwritten papers. Think about that. It bridges the gap between the classic pen and paper essay and today's tech. So if you're a teacher who still loves handwritten assignments, this is a really big deal. All right, so having a powerful toolkit is one thing, but for any teacher, for any school, it always comes down to one big question. What's this going to cost me? So let's talk about the price of all this progress. So let's break down the pricing here. And what's really cool is that they actually start with a totally free plan. You can grade up to 10 essays a month without paying a dime, which is perfect for just dipping your toes in. After that, it scales pretty affordably for individual teachers. You've got a light plan for about $8 and a pro plan if you're a heavy user for about $15 a month. And of course, there's a bigger enterprise option for whole schools or districts. And hey, if you're still on the fence about the paid plans, they've got you covered with a 7-day free trial, so you can test out that whole 15-minute promise with your own students' work and see for yourself, totally risk-free. So, where does this pricing fit into the bigger picture? Well, GraderAI is pretty clearly positioning itself as an alternative to the big players, like Turnitin. The difference is, tools like Turnitin often need these massive, expensive contracts that the whole school has to buy into. That just puts them way out of reach for a single teacher who wants to try something new. And wow, this bar chart really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? The claim here is that GraderAI is about 75% cheaper than something like Turnitin. I mean, that is a huge difference. It really feels like a move toward making these powerful AI tools something an individual teacher can actually get their hands on. Okay, so we've got a tool that's promising to be fast, flexible, and affordable. But whenever we talk about bringing AI into the classroom, we've got to think bigger than just the feature list. We have to start thinking of this as an AI grading assistant. And with any assistant, there are some really important responsibilities to consider. And let's be honest, the first question, the biggest question that pops into any educator's head is this one right here. Is my student's data going to be safe? And the answer to that is a big one for building trust. The platform is FERPA compliant. For anyone who doesn't know, that means it follows the super strict federal laws here in the US. They're all about protecting student privacy. For school, this isn't just a nice-to-have feature. It's an absolute must-have. It's a non-negotiable. So here we are. The technology is here. It's getting cheaper, it's getting more secure, and it's taking a shot at solving one of the oldest problems in education. And all of that leaves us with one final, much, much bigger question to chew on. As AI really and truly makes its way into our classrooms, how is it going to change what it even means to be a teacher? What does your job look like when the red pen gets replaced by an algorithm? That's the conversation we're all just starting to have now.